Today, this video starts off with this guy. And if you don't know who this guy is, this is a guy by the name of Alpo Martinez. You feel me, dig me? He's from Harlem, New York. He was a drug dealer, a drug kingpin in the early 90s, late 80s. And then he got gobbled up. And he did 26 years in federal prison. At this time period in Alpo's life, Alpo was a real dude. I mean, a real solid dude. And he was really just doing this thing in New York. If you know, he was slinging them D-rugs, and just for educational purposes, those are drugs. But he was getting to that bag. You know what I mean? He was getting to that bag for real. Moving along in the story, this guy here, his name is Demencio Benson. Now, Demencio was a drug kingpin from Brooklyn, New York, but he was also getting money out of town in Washington, D.C. and Montana projects, you know what I mean? And Demencio was connected with Sean Branch, who we gonna get to later on in the story, you feel me? Demencio Benson from Brooklyn, New York was connected with the likes of Mike Tyson. You see Mike Tyson pictured in his picture here, and he's hugging Demencio. You see Demencio is totally relaxed, and you see the other Willie, who I won't name, you feel me? But he was with people like this. Now here Demencio go again, pictured with another New York City street legend. I mean, a top-notch dude. And this is Black Just from the Supreme team. You know Supreme, Prince, the Jamaica Queens Supreme team from Jamaica Queens doing their thing. You feel me? Now here's a picture of Demencio Benson with the twins, two other Willies. You feel me? And look, anybody in New York know what it is. So now y'all know. You heard? Let's just put it this way. As y'all can see, Demencio Benson was well loved. Now, later on in the story, I'm going to show you how all these guys' lives were affected and they all go together. You heard? Up next, we have a guy by the name of Sean Branch. They call him Teflon Sean. He's another Washington, D.C. street legend. You know what I mean? Sean Branch, it's alleged that he paint houses out of his own mouth. You feel me? He paints houses, but he only paint the houses red, if you feel me, dig me. You feel me? Sean Branch, a Washington, D.C. legend, was a good friend of the guy Demencio Benson, because when Demencio Benson went out to Washington, D.C., he stayed in Montana Terraces, and that was Sean Branch's area. So him and Sean Branch linked up and they started getting money together. You feel me? But Sean Branch went to court for 10 homicides, beat 9 of them, and then the judge gave him 25 from the other one that he lost. He was a stand-up guy, did his 25 years in prison like a man, and walked out of there with honor. You heard? Not to glorify the murder game or wear that ignorance is a badge of honor, but let's just keep it real in the streets. That boy Sean Branch, he really painted houses red, you heard? Now, most of y'all already know who this guy is, and if you don't, this is Richard Porter. Now, Richard Porter, in his time, in my words, I would call him the Prince of New York. Because Richard Porter, he was well loved. He was similar to Demencio, but the Harlem version, because Demencio was from Brooklyn, but Richard Porter was like the Prince of New York. Everybody just felt him and gravitated to him. Now, Rich, he been getting money. I mean, Rich was one of the youngest, flyest, flashy, flamboyant dudes in Harlem. I'm talking about like 15, 16. He was busting out Beamers, Benzes, RX-7s, and all kind of crazy shit. You feel me? I mean, this kid was really fly. And him and AZ, they started out real young. And they was getting to that money. I mean, they was getting to the bag. Now, this guy here, his name is Andre Tank Johnson. Now, Andre Tank Johnson is another Washington, D.C. street legend. I mean, he's a real Washington, D.C. street legend. I'm talking about him and his man, Is the Christ. It's alleged that at the age of 13, his little protege at the time, Is the Christ, was like 13 and Andre Tank was like 15, 16. And Is the Christ got caught with $1 million cash at 13 years old. And him and Andre Tank Johnson was rolling together. And according to Is the Christ, he said anything that Tank said, he would do, because Tank taught him how to get to the money, and he really trusted Tank. Now this dude here, his name is Wayne Silk Perry. I know some of y'all heard of him. Well, Wayne Perry, he's another Washington, D.C. street legend. But Wayne Perry didn't sell D-Rugs. Wayne Perry did it a little different. Wayne Perry, at the time when he had his reign, he was one of the most feared men in Washington, D.C. Wayne Perry was known as the Michael Jordan of murder, because he really laid down that murder game. And it's alleged that this guy has over 100 homicides under his belt. You heard me? Yo, many people in Washington, D.C. also called Wayne Perry Silk, because he had a reputation for being smooth like silk, because he was smooth with the ladies. As you can see, he got 2 chicks right here in this picture, you heard? Yo, and with that being said, don't ever get it twisted what I just said, because Wayne Perry was smooth with the ladies, because Wayne Perry was a beast even when he was by himself, especially when he was by himself. He'll knock your spirit out of your body and send you up, you heard? Moving on, this guy here, right here, his name is Bighead Gary. And yo, Bighead Gary had a brother named Brandon. Bighead Gary is a Washington, D.C. legend as well. He wasn't known as much as the most of them, because Bighead Gary was known for staying low. But Bighead Gary had a couple of $1 million in the stash, according to Alpo Martinez. You feel me? So Alpo Martinez ended up going out to D.C. and becoming buddy with Bighead Gary, like he did Rich Porter in New York City. You feel me? Let's take it back for a minute. Yo, check it out. Picture here is Richard Porter and Alpo Martinez. Now let's get back into Alpo and Rich. Alpo Martinez was born Alpo Giddis Martinez in Harlem, New York. And he was growing up in Harlem, New York, just like any other regular child, right? Alpo had a mother who loved him, just like all of the rest of us did. Alpo also had other family members that also loved him. He even had a sister that loved him very dearly. Alpo used to go upstate by the Adirondacks and Catskills every summer and chill with a white family, and even they loved him. If only he knew, he'd soon be copping out to 14 murders and catching 14 bodies. If only he knew. I know life don't work like that, but if only he knew, right? If you don't know the story, this guy here, he's a very important part of the story. His name is Preacher. They call him the Black Hand of Death, because he was rolling with a crew of dudes. They all were cold-blooded murderers, you feel me? And Preacher was the leader of a gang, and he had a cleanup crew and everything, and they used to send people up. Now, Preacher and his crew was different. They used to roll up on D-Rug dealers and put their muscle game down. And yo, trust me, when Preacher was around, dudes was really paying. You could talk all that BS you want, but you was really paying Preacher. Not everybody, but trust me, most of them knew what would happen if they didn't pay. Now, Rich, AZ, and Alpo started getting money together, and they all became the talk of Harlem. 3 young bulls getting to the money. And this is way before you heard of the movie Paid in Full. Now, like I said earlier, AZ and Rich, they been getting to the money even before Alpo came. But now all 3 of them was getting money together. You feel me, dig me? But AZ, he was always on his KEEPLO shit. When I say that, he was always known for staying out the way. He ended up getting shot, and he stayed out the way, you heard? So Rich and Alpo, they kept on getting money just like any of the straight dudes would do. You feel me? AZ got clapped, but they kept on getting to the money. You feel me? So anyway, Alpo and Rich ended up bumping heads over a drug deal going wrong. Now it's alleged, according to Alpo Martinez in his own words, he said Rich was getting them joints, the birds, meaning the kilos just for educational purpose, but Rich was getting the birds for $11,000 each, and he was charging Alpo $13,000, and Alpo gave him $1 million, so that didn't sit well with Alpo, you feel me? So Alpo ended up going back out to DC, and he had established a relationship with a dude named Bighead Gary, and his relationship with Bighead Gary was similar to the one that he had with Richard Porter in New York City, like the best friends type of shit, you feel me? So he ended up telling Gary about what happened with Rich, and Gary said, let's send him up. So Alpo and Gary came up to New York. They ended up meeting up with Rich Porter, and they sent them up. Only if Richard Porter would have knew. I know life doesn't work like that, but only if Richard Porter would have knew. Only if he would have knew how much his sister Pat Porter misses him and she be representing for him. Only if he would have knew. Only if Rich Porter would have knew that Gary and Alpo, his main man Alpo, would come back and send him up. Only if he would have knew. Yo, like a week before Richard Porter got sent up, his younger brother Donnell Porter had got kidnapped for ransom by some dudes in New York, but it ended up being the Preacher crew. And when Rich got sent up, nobody couldn't pay that money, so they sent this little brother up. And that's a damn shame. A little boy, 14 years old, they sent him up. And his own uncle set that shit up. Only if they would have knew. It was his Uncle Apple. Only if they would have knew. Now, Richard's Uncle Apple Porter set his little brother up, and he ended up getting sent up. That was wrong on so many levels. You heard me? So the whole New York started to whisper and talk about how the whole situation was so wrong. And the OG said, word is bone, that shit wrong, man. They did that little boy dirty. For all of you guys out there who don't know, some people will hate you just because of the way other people love you. Let me say that again. Some people will hate you just because of the way other people love your ass. You heard me? All right, y'all. Yo, check it. The video ain't over. Just a little intermission. I want to give you a little heads up. If you're not subscribed to this channel, KEEPLO, you subscribe to this channel, KEEPLO. You hit the notification bell so you'll be notified when I drop more fire content like this. And don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up. You heard me? Now let's get back into the video. So anywho, Alpo and Bighead Gary, they made their way back to Gary's town, and that's Washington, D.C., because Alpo had to lay low. Remember, Rich got sent up, and his little brother got sent up. Alphabet dudes, for you don't know, that's the FBI, DEA, and all of them 3-letter people. They was running around trying to gobble people up because a little boy got killed, you know what I mean? A 14-year-old. So Alpo knew it was hot. He went back out to D.C. with Gary. So after shit being mad hot in New York, Alpo went back out to DC with the DC crew. You can see Alpo with the white hat, with the black shirt, with the white in it. And he just chilling with the DC crew like everything is everything, you feel me? But everything wasn't cool. This dude named Jawbreaker and his mans rolled up and they tried to snatch Alpo and put him in the car and kidnap him so they could just do him dirty or get his money or whatever. But Alpo seen it coming. He telegraphed. He tried to boogie from him. They end up licking him once, hitting him with a bullet. That means he got shot. And look what happened to him. So as y'all can see, Alpo ended up taking a bullet. You see the line going down his stomach where he had the incision and his stitches and the surgery or whatever. But you know what I liked about Alpo? He not only gave that hot shit out. When it was time you might have to take it, he took it like a man and wore it like now jury. Again, I'm not glorifying this dumbass street shit. I'm just saying when you playing in it, you gotta play in it for real, and sometimes you gotta give something to get something, you feel me? I'm not saying it's good getting hit up, but it is what it is. Continuing on. So around this time, the infamous killer, Wayne Perry, had got gobbled up. So he was already in DC jail, locked with a $10,000 bill, and nobody was paying his bill. But around this same time, Alpo had just got hit up, and he needed some reinforcements. So he was figuring, if I bail this killer out of jail, he could help me lay the middle of the game down and we could get some get back. So that's what he did. He ended up bailing Wayne Perry out. This time, Alpo didn't actually even know Wayne Perry. See, because Alpo went down to DC and he bumped into Shorty Pop, this guy that's pictured in the center of this picture. Shorty Pop was a killer, you feel me? He was laying down his middle of the game, something crazy. The boy was only 15 years old. He had a ton of bodies, a ton of shootouts, and he was really about that action. So anyway, he was rolling with Wayne Perry, and he told Alpo, if you get Wayne out, we could go do what you gotta do, you feel me? So that's what they did. So with that being said, around this same time, Alpo, according to Alpo Martinez, him and Gary started to have a little fallout with their friendship because Alpo said that Gary was jealous of him because he used to let Gary hold his car, Gary let him hold his car, and then people like that's Poe's car, Gary trying to be like Poe and all that. So it was like an envy thing according to Alpo, and he started kicking in. So Alpo said he told Gary, I'm not going back to New York, so if me and you have a fallout, you know my stash spots, I know your stash spots, you know where my family rests their head, I know where your family rests their head. If we got into a beef, one of us would have to die. And I remember Alpo saying that Gary said, yeah, I feel you. That's some stupid shit to say. Somebody's telling me one of us gonna have to die. I'm definitely not telling him I feel you, because I don't feel that sucker shit. Y'all get in the comments and tell me what you think. So Alpo ended up getting with Wayne Perry and some of his other cohorts, and they ended up calling Gary, and they told him, yo, we see the kid Jawbreaker that shot me. Yo, you gotta come meet us. He said, yo, you got iron on you? Gary said, I got 2 hammers on me. So they ended up meeting Gary. Gary ended up parking his joint and getting to the joint where Alpo and Wayne Perry and some of the other cohorts, right? So Gary was kind of tired. They was driving around acting like they looking for Jawbreaker, but they wasn't. They was waiting for Gary to get tired. So he ended up getting tired and he put his ass to sleep and sent them up. Right in the car, they sent them up. Only if Gary would have known. Only if he would have known that his new best friend Alpo and his friends was going to put him to sleep. Only if Gary would have known. Yo, shortly before Gary got sent up, he had gotten into a beef with Andre Tank Johnson because Andre Tank Johnson was sticking Disney's to Gary's girl, and Gary girl had got mad and told him about it, so he wanted to send Andre Tank Johnson up, but Alpo was like, nah, you can't send him up because he be spending like $400,000 with me every month. Him and his man is the Christ. So he was like, nah, put a red light on that because you gonna stop my money. But Gary kept bitching, yo, he's hitting my girl. So him and Alpo ended up popping Andre Tank Johnson in the head and taking like $270,000 or something. And Alpo ended up taking Andre Tank girl, and he said some dumb shit like, yeah, I got the 270 and the girl, when the dude was spending $400,000 a month with him. That was some bozo shit. You just killed him for a girl. Bad move, Po. Yo, some real shit. In my humble opinion, I think that Andre Tank Johnson was a real cool dude. Even Alpo said that him and Is the Christ, they said they did nothing but try to show that man love. And Alpo Martinez sent them up. Damn, only if Tank could have seen that that Alpo Martinez was going to send him up. Only if Tank could have seen that he was going to send him up. Only if Tank could have seen how true Is the Christ was and how much he missed his comrade. Only if Tank could have seen. Now this one here, this one always had my mind like, why the hell did Poe kill Demencio? I think like two of the people that Alpo is accused of killing, two of the worst ones I think is Demencio, Andre Tank Johnson, and that other boy from DC that had the green Range Rover in the store. He had the Gucci store and all that shit in the 90s. The boy was getting money. I can't think of his name. But y'all get in the comments and y'all tell me what you think. But Demencio was shaking Alpo's hand at the time of his demise. And so I'm saying if he was shaking his hand, they couldn't have had beef that Demencio know about, because nobody's going to give you their hand when they think you putting them in danger. But Alpo, according to him, he told his little man, here's the plan. When you see me shaking his hand, just run up on him and give him the business. That's just some crazy shit. I don't know why he did that. If y'all know, get in the comments and tell me. But Demencio was shaking that man's hand. So how much beef could he have had with him? Or was that some envy or jealousy shit because he was a fly dude that had his own bricks and he was handsome too and all that? But if somebody know about that, y'all get in the comments and tell me. But it's a sad situation that Demencio Benson, the father of a child or children, lost his life. And he was already getting to the money and ducking everything in the streets and fading all the cops and keeping his keys hid well and stacking his bread right. And he got killed over some envy shit, in my opinion. But yo, y'all get in the comments and tell me what y'all think. But yo, it's a sad situation that Demencio Benson didn't even see it. And he was shaking Alpo's hand and he got sent up. And it's so sad. He didn't even see it. So around this time, them alphabet dudes, they grabbed Alpo up. I mean, they snatched him up for real this time. He wasn't coming home shortly this time. He was facing a death penalty, in fact. You feel me? So anyway, he ended up turning government informant, stool pigeon, rat. You feel me? And he just went out the way he said that he wouldn't go out. So Alpo ended up working out a deal to where he became a federal informant. And, you know, he ended up getting 26 years in federal prison. Even though he told on people, he still had to do 26 years in federal prison. You know what I mean? Yo, this goes out to all of you out there who's jetting too fast, man. You see this man in this motherfucking cage right now, looking all crazy, going out his mind, wondering how he gonna do 26 years in a motherfucking cage, you feel me? That ain't no joke, yo. So you better recognize what you doing in this world, because you do have to pay for all your poor decision making. You feel me? Dig me? Yo, I hope most of y'all listening to me, man, because you're going to be laying in the cage like this dude in the bed thinking, damn, it's my first day. How the hell I'm going to do 26 years? You feel me? And then you're going to be sitting by that phone with them orange fucking monkey slippers and that orange jumpsuit and some punk-ass white socks. And you're going to be missing your kids. You're going to be missing your mother, missing your family, missing that good pussy you used to touch, missing touching money, and just missing your freedom. So you better wisen up and fly straight. And getting back to Bighead Gary, I ain't tell you the whole thing that happened to him. After they had him in the car riding around and he got sleepy, he dozed off. They clapped him in the back of his melon. And then Alpo said, take all of his clothes off and we're going to drag him in the woods. And then he allegedly got his penis cut from getting dragged through the woods. But is this kind of fate that you want, to be laying in the woods and somebody find you in the woods and show your mother and your family that you're in the woods? Slow down, people. You heard me? So after doing 26 years of long-term prison incarceration in federal prison, Alpo was finally released. And he was released. Upon his release, he was sent to Maine in a witness protection program where he stayed up there under the name Abraham Rodriguez. So even after going through the hardship and enduring 26 years in federal prison, Alpo came back and he still had a taste for the New York streets and all the live shit that's going on in these New York streets. Instead of just focusing and staying in Maine, he came back on a big red motorcycle and a big red truck and started running around in New York again. Yo, in them streets, you might get you some money, get some designer clothes, couple of medallions. Yo, let me tell you something. In the game, you might get some nice cars. I mean, some really, really nice cars. I mean, some nice dope shit. You might get a couple of nice females, some jewelry, more females, and all kind of shit like that. But in the end of the day, you might get a nice big mansion house and all that shit. But it ain't worth 26 years of your life or losing your life. And I just want to tell you that, man. Okay, upon Alpo coming back from Maine, hitting back to New York, he had a lot of friends. I mean, friends still stood by his side. I mean, he had a lot of love, like for real, on some real shit. And I expect nothing less, because if somebody's locked in with you, you stay locked in with them. You know what I mean? So I guess that's how it went, because his friends damn sure still stood by him and he was doing his damn thing. You feel me? Okay, now we all know Alpo used to ride motorcycles before he left. He definitely was riding motorcycles before he left, and he was riding motorcycles when he came back to New York, you heard? So anyway, it's alleged that Alpo was riding his motorcycle through Harlem kind of reckless, and he almost hit a young boy by the name of Shaquem Parker. And Shaquem was like, allegedly, yo, you almost hit me with the motorcycle. And you know, they got into some verbal dispute or whatever, and it's alleged that Alpo smacked the young boy. Yo, this is 2020 something, not 1990 when Alpo left, man. Young boys ain't giving it up like that. They all got them ratchets and they all banging them out. You feel me? So I guess it changed, and young boy came back blazing allegedly, and he put Alpo to sleep on Halloween night. Yo, y'all read this, what it says. Kingpin and informant Alpo Martinez banged out. Alpo Shaka, Daily News, he got rocked. You know what I mean? I guess he rocked 14 other people. I don't wish that on nobody, but I guess what goes around comes around. And like I said, these young boys ain't having it, man. And I guess that was the way it's supposed to play out if Alpo is gone. If he not gone, then so be it. He back in the feds or something. But if he is gone, rise in power, King, and come back better in your next life. You feel me? On that note, now I don't know what the hell a person in Alpo's status was doing at some goddamn Halloween party at 3 in the morning, 2 in the morning. Everybody got a mask on. It's just on some real shit. Even Ray Charles could have seen that wasn't a good look. And Alpo was a street dude, so I know he's probably focused. But the name of this video is If They Only Knew. I know life don't work like that, but if he only knew that that was going to be the last day that he put on a Halloween mask and go to a Halloween party, and that was going to be his last day on Earth. If he only knew, you feel me? And if he only knew, he got a son named Gumby that look just like him, that's amplifying some good shit. And he should be here to see that. But if he only knew. And yo, condolences to everybody's family that got rocked. And yo, last but not least, we can't forget Wayne Silk Perry, because Alpo connected dots and got his knot rocked. because he got like 5 life sentences, 6 life sentences. So that's living death. And that's a sad situation. So I know Wayne must be mentally sick when he locked in, you feel me? But he gonna hold it down as he should. So there it is. Yo, realize everyone ain't loyal. But real is also real events that you actually live. These people actually live these events, so I guess it's real. But on that note, stay solid even when they fold. You heard? Yo, on some real shit, we all got sons and daughters, and if you don't, it takes a village, you feel me? But yo, we gotta breathe life into these babies and teach and educate them. Listen to me, it is imperative that we teach and educate our babies to be greater than us, you feel me? And the only way you gonna teach your babies the knowledge is by getting knowledge of yourself. That's just some real shit. How you gonna teach somebody who they are if you don't know who you are, you feel me? But on another note, my name is Lashim Nagar. I have a channel called KEEPLO on YouTube. That's KEEPLO. I drop knowledge that'll help you elevate your life using different subject matters. And I also drop knowledge for the God, the earth, and the babies. And I give you real spit on street legends, as you just seen in this video. Yo, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, tap in with me for real. And yo, join my channel, Smart Money Moves, where free, I'll give you the tools to make smart money moves. This channel is on Bitcoin, future trading, stocks, finance, and more. I'm not asking you for a dime. I'm just giving you free information. So that's a no-brainer. And the motherfucking logo to the channel is the Thinking Man. Cause the thinking man gonna outthink these bozos, you feel me? But yo, if you wanna elevate, cause constant elevation causes expansion, subscribe to my channel, Smart Money Moves, where I'll give you the tools to make smart money moves, and it's all free. Yo, like, comment, share this motherfucking video on some real shit. Y'all worked on this, get y'all some real spit, and share this, like it, give it big thumbs up so the YouTube algorithm show me some love. Yo, comment, let me know what y'all think about this video, and let's just elevate. Keep low. Yo, salute, big salute to all my subscribers and everybody that's tapped in with me. Once again, hit that notification bell and tap in with the channel Keep Low. Lashim to God. Y'all wish you all peace and farewell. And like I tell ya, stay focused. You heard me? Peace.